Welcome, guys, to another episode of Deadlifts and Dirty Nappies. This is episode 5, and today we are going to be going over nutrition, all things food, protein, everything you basically need for like your key points to actually achieving your goals. I'm Mikemckaycoaching, and we have
Tonymasterscoaching.
So Tony. What do you want to start off with today?
Um, First point, probably why it's crucial to get your numbers dialed in food and nutrition from early on in the plan, because I know there's quite a lot of people inside my program. I make it a key point from day one, and if you don't get that right, you're on to a losing battle straight away, in my eyes.
Yeah, 100%. It's one of the
So
main things I think I try to dial in first. I try to say to all my clients is first 2 weeks is literally get your calories in order. Don't worry about anything fitness in terms of exercise, apart from obviously steps. That's daily. That's like a bare minimum anyway. But I think nutrition is the thing you want to get dialed in as quick as possible.
yeah,
And
go on,
I
sorry.
wouldn't even say so much in terms of like the proteins and the macro side of things. It is
No,
ultimately just get the calories down.
but to be honest with you, I don't know about you, but the two common things that people are saying to me when they first start, and I always say it usually takes about 5 to 7 days to start feeling hungry again, but people are getting full quite easy and they think it's a lot of food because they are eating the proper food and it fills them up. They're struggling to actually get to the numbers that are inside the program. So I always say as long as you're trying within the first 5 to 7 days, just make sure you are trying rather than skipping meals, and because it'll only have an effect in the long run, a negative one.
Oh yeah, 100%. Because it's like a case of if even if you think calories, for example, a lot of people when they first start like the journeys and whatnot, it is a case of they tend to be eating more than what they think they are, or even more than what they should be, and that's why they've put on weight. But it ends up being the wrong types of foods. It's like normally processed like chocolates and shit like that that really just fill a tiny bit of craving, and then you basically going back to just feeling hungry again. But they end up being just empty calories based on like chocolate and crisps. Um, it's the moment you start adding that volume in that people tend to struggle.
Yeah, I mean, bear in mind I don't know about you, but when I'm setting my plan, first things I take out is like your milk, your sugary drinks, anything that you can get, say, Sugar Zero or Fry Light.
Yeah.
I mean, I actually know someone worked with someone that was having about 1800 calories a day, not on food, literally
Fucking
physically
hell.
using oils, butter, full fat mayonnaise, all the sauces you think of. You take that away, we worked it out, it was about
Jeez.
1800 calories.
And it's people that don't even think about that kind of stuff as well. That it very
No,
quickly adds up, like
yeah, of
extremely
course it does.
quickly. Even if like fucking hell, just to think about 1,800 calories in just liquid form. You know, it's someone's like entire daily limit when they're on a deficit. Sometimes that, and yeah, no, fucking hell, no.
As
I,
soon,
I
as
think
soon as
for
I
me,
put,
whenever I'm doing that kind of stuff, is it's not so much cut it out like in terms of like milk and stuff. I know for a lot of people, it's more just finding alternatives. So whether it
yeah,
be that you have like full fat milk on your breakfast, for example, it's very easy to just go down to semi skimmed for the time being, get used to that, and then go down again to the skimmed milk. It's not a case where you have to just drop everything and change it all that way. It is a case of doing like small differences.
yeah,
But like, I think the main thing as well is just making sure you're hitting your protein more than anything.
definitely. I mean, that's person that was having 1800 calories in oils, butters, and stuff. When we put their calories on a program, they were starting off on quite a high number. They couldn't get the food in them.
Like I
Like,
say, it's just that volume in it. It literally
yeah,
is that volume. The moment
I
that's added
mean,
in, that's it. It's end of. End of.
yeah, I think, for example, they started off on, say, 2100, something like that, which isn't a bad number, but they couldn't get anywhere near it. And obviously, if they were having 1800 calories, I bet you they were only having about 700, 800 calories a day
Of actual food.
beforehand. Yeah.
Yeah,
So you
it's
start chucking protein and actual filling foods in there, you've got no chance.
no, exactly. I think one of the main things is just making sure you dial in with calories is the first thing, and trying to find the right types of food that you can like actively eat and still stay on track. So like
Yeah,
if I have clients that come to me when they first start and they're like, I've got a sweet tooth, for example, you need to be putting in something in there that's a case of something that's going to help them stay on track. And just calorie count it in. It doesn't need to be a case where you just restrict it out. Just put it
definitely.
in your plan.
That,
And
one of
it's
the
things like that.
questions, one of the questions I ask on my onboarding sheet is there a particular food you cannot go without daily? And if they put something in there, that's my starting point for the whole plan,
Yeah,
whether
really
or
is.
not it's protein based or not.
Goes in as a snack, goes in as a drink, whatever it might be. If they need it, then it's going to keep them on track. Best keep
As
it in. And
soon
that's how you get dialed in.
as soon as they see that, they get excited.
Yeah, it's true because the people go through these phases of obviously restricting the diets that much or hearing that they need to cut things out. Because social media, as much as we obviously post on social media, we have to. I don't know about you, but I fucking hate it. I hate social media with a passion. The people on it are majority just fucking degenerates. They don't give actual decent advice. They're telling you to fucking not eat certain things. I could go on a massive rant here and we could probably use this for later on a different episode. But no, they're just degenerates. I hate them. I hate people on social media unless they're actual genuine people that are actually giving decent advice. But it's that kind of impact that they don't realise that they're having on other people's lives by telling them they have to restrict things out of the diet.
No, no. But I mean, again, it's one for another episode, but the shit you see on social media and people walking around saying you've got to have a six pack, this is how you should look. No one should be telling people how they look. It's how people want to feel.
How they want to feel, how they want to look. It's not a case
Uh,
of you
it's
judging other people.
no, exactly. But I back to the calories and when people are first starting off. One thing that does I have to get into my client heads is like if I've assigned you 2,000 calories, say, don't try and get by on 1,800 because your body will adapt and you've got to get to the numbers that we set. Otherwise, we're fighting a losing battle from day one. Yeah,
Yeah,
you might see it if you're not telling us the truth and that you are eating 1,800 calories and we're seeing 4 pounds, say 3 week in a row, you've lost 12 pounds and then start slowing down. When you hit that plateau, we still think you're on 2,000 calories, so we might reduce you to 1,800 calories and you're
yeah,
stuck.
exactly that. It is a case of just following the numbers, following the plan, um, or at the very least, make us aware of it. So obviously, I know what I do with my clients is I get them either to use my PT Hub and to track the foods on there, or I'll add them on MyFitnessPal. It's whichever one they prefer to use. The only downside to MyFitnessPal is that it doesn't give you the full breakdowns when you're actually looking through someone else's nutrition. You have to literally go in there and like try and work out what they've eaten and break down the macros like in
Yeah,
advance
yeah.
if they've not implemented it into my PT Hub.
My
It's it's very quickly can be seen obviously that we can check your calories and the moment your calories are down or lower than what they need to be, I know me myself I'll be like, nope, fix that shit.
well, it's something I've really got on top of the last few weeks. Um, I don't actually ask them to put it in my PT hub. For
Yeah.
me, my fitness pal is something I've always used. So
I'm the same, but the way it kind of works for me is if someone comes to me and they go, I've never used my Fitness Pal, the easiest thing then to do is go, right, well, use my app. Everything is the same as my Fitness Pal. I just get more of an in depth of what you've actually eaten. I get notified when you log your food. If you're not logging your food, then I'm gonna know about it. It's that one more step of obviously that accountability side, and obviously it gets to that point where you kind of get into a routine with your clients as the time goes on. Like I've got multiple clients now where they don't even bother logging the food, but the scales are still coming down, the measurements are still coming down. So I know they're doing it. Because if they weren't, you wouldn't see the results. But it just gets to that point.
no.
I always say to them, it gets to a point where you won't need to track your foods. Do it for
Do you
2 3 months, and that's it.
it's funny you should say that. I practice what I preach and all the rest of it. Like I even proved to the whole group the other day that I'm on, I think it's 185, 186 day streak on my fitness pal, and that's me. Even now, like literally, I think it's just habit now. I log everything. But just going back to my PT up,
Hmm.
so I set my clients' food under a file in there and not on my PT hub.
I do the same.
So can they just log their foods as normal in my PT hub? I'll have to. Can the scan foods? Can the All right, I'll sort that
I've
out.
noticed that when I've used it, the database isn't as large as what my Fitness Pal is.
Well,
So
right,
the
I
the
don't think.
database is a little bit lower, but in terms of obviously having that accountability side of it, if they are someone that's completely new, it's that
Are
extra
the
step.
numbers are the numbers bang on?
Um, fairly, they're fairly bang on. I've not seen too many discrepancies yet.
All right, sound. I'll have a mess about with that one night.
Yeah, it's definitely worth doing, especially on that accountability side.
Yeah. So obviously, I touched on it there regarding any foods that my clients can't go without, and I build my plan around there. How do you, obviously not in detail how you work out your calories and macros and stuff, but like what type of foods, flexibility do you put inside your plans?
Well, first off is obviously making sure that obviously they get what they need inside the plan. So I had a client I signed up to me yesterday, and the first thing she put is I have a sweet tooth. So she's getting fully onboarded tomorrow. So I'm going to go through with her and what the plan is with that. The exact same thing I tell to all my clients. Depending on what you have as your cravings, like if it's your favorite chocolate, whatever, you're going to get that in your plan. But you need to make sure you just calorie count it. It's as simple as that. I'm not going to restrict that. But then the next step is obviously what I do. So once you've obviously worked out the calories, you've done the TDE, worked out rough how many times you're going to be training and everything else. Next step is making sure you're getting enough protein. And obviously, there's a massive scale and a massive discrepancy even when you look on social media regarding this. Some people tell you to make sure you're only hitting 100 grams of protein. Some tell you to hit 150. No one actually does the calculations for people, and it fucking winds me up because it's not just as simple as telling them to eat 100 grams. It goes off your body weight. If you're only eating 100 grams but you weigh like 200 pounds, for example, I'm sorry, but you're gonna really be like eating into your muscle as you're going through this deficit, rather than trying to maintain your muscle and keep the shape that you want to keep. So the way I kind of do it is I'll base my protein amount based on what their activity levels are going to be. So if I say that they're going to be training 3 times a week, I'll roughly have the protein at around 1.4 to 1.6 grams per kilogram of body weight that they currently weigh. So that retains all their muscle mass for what they currently weigh, and as they come further down, the protein can be tailored a little bit. But that's my next step, and then from there, it's just kind of working out your fats and your proteins based on percentages from that, and that's how I tend to do it. Um,
I I obviously my starting point is my protein, then my carbs, and then the fat should really look after themselves. But I've never, even when I've been like banging to my training and working with a coach and stuff, as long as I hit my protein and my calories, the numbers kind of fall into place.
yeah, they
You
tend
don't
to.
even like, I literally say to my clients, do not focus on carbs or fats because I've done that for you. Here's your plan. So obviously, I've worked with coaches that give me my numbers,
Hmm.
even break it down numbers per meal, and then I have to suss it out. I work with people that I've literally said, he's 4 meals a day and you must eat this for 12 weeks. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
But restrictive guys.
I and then I've worked with someone, and it's the guy that I've clicked with the best and got the best results. He gives 2 options some meals, 3 options for most. Um, and to be honest with you, I enjoyed that flexibility, and the more I got into it, the more switched on I was, sort of realizing you can swap proteins for proteins, and if you're savvy with your food, you know what you're doing. So basically, my plans, they've got 4 meals in. They include a snack, and there's 3 options per meal and snack. And I literally say, if you're not glued up, stick to the plan because there's literally 3 meals a day. Or like swap your proteins for protein and swap your carbs for carbs as long as you don't exceed your calories and you hit your protein numbers.
It's exactly the same as I do.
That's where the group comes in, I think. Like I would probably say 70%, maybe 75% of the crack inside the group is food. As in, this is what I've had for tea.
Yeah.
And then someone will say, have you got the what's in it or instructions, and half of them will step by
Majority,
step how they'll cook.
majority of mine is mainly step goals at the moment. People holding each other accountable for actually getting the steps in. That's what mine is at the minute.
I,
But no, going back to obviously plans and stuff, I give three full breakdown meal examples from 5 meals a day. So that's your breakfast, your lunch, your tea, a snack, and dessert. So they're getting all 5 meals completely like handed to them. But then there's three examples within that, and then that's all in like a full PDF. But that's all just broken down just into like basically like markers, as in like 1700, 2500, 1300, whatever it might be for their marker.
yeah,
And then from there, it's obviously I've got my cookbook that I give them as well, so they've got plenty of recipes to go off.
yeah,
But yeah, the main ones, the main thing obviously that I would say I try to focus on when it comes to obviously setting plans is making sure that fats are within like that 20% to 35%. As long as they're anywhere between there, you tend to be good, because what you don't want to be doing is obviously setting someone lower than 20% fat in the
yeah.
daily intake, because that's where you end up with other issues medically and all the rest of it. But yeah, carbs in general, just eat whatever the fuck you want in terms of that, and then let it all
Ah,
just fall into place.
yeah. That's what I mean. Like, if your protein numbers are there, the carbs kind of, and you're hitting your calories, you've got to make that up with carbs and fats anyway. So,
Yeah, exactly that. It's just
uh,
making sure you, when it comes to fats, you are picking like the right choices,
yeah.
so you're
I
not kind
mean,
of overloading on oils and
yeah.
stuff. Like, be smart with it.
I mean,
That's the main thing.
yeah. I mean, I think one of the beauties of our plans, you know roughly what calories to have within certain meals, and now there's so many easy options like ready meals. You know, if you're out on the road or
Oh,
you
there's
literally
loads these days.
like you've got no time. Like, I mean, I do bulk of my shopping in Aldi, but
I'm saying
they,
I've moved to Aldi
they,
now. Aldi, Lidl,
they
it's
have
just brilliant.
literally six fresh high protein meals, all between 300 and 500 calories. I think the highest is something like 480, which is a tikka masala. But they've even got five or six frozen ones that are like between 3 and 400 with 35 grams of protein. And yet, like for someone like me to dawdle, because I'll have that and then I'll have a protein pudding, for simplicity and just getting the
They're
numbers in.
just, oh, I did a video the other day on that as well.
Uh,
Fucking people and bloody emulsifiers, seed oils and shit, but just don't listen to shit you hear online,
I,
guys.
I had a conversation with a client rang us, well, messages over the weekend and said, "Can I have a word with, like, I need to speak to you just to understand some things." And she was saying there's like 2 nights a week where she's really pushed for time. She's struggling to like get something ready. And like genuinely, yeah, like tea's something like less 400 calories and 30 grams of protein, just to round it up. That's literally what is on her plan. And I've literally like just said the gym kitchen meals or Aldi's ready meals. I said, if do you eat that kind of stuff? And she said, yeah, I've always ate ready meals on these type of nights and stuff. And I'm like, well,
It
there you
doesn't
go.
change.
Like, you don't even have to think about cooking. They're about £3. Just go and grab one, and then that's it done. And like, she's messaged us this morning because she must have gone to Aldi either last night or this morning after the call, and just said like, game changer. I'm like, you're gonna hit your numbers, so it doesn't
Doesn't
affect
really
you in
matter,
any
yeah.
way.
Really doesn't matter. It's like even when it comes to think about like even just quick meals, it might not seem like it's gonna be quick, you making your own meal at home. But even like I do this quite regularly, but it's like just grabbing a wrap, just chucking some deli meat in it, chuck some salad in it, or even just like putting like veg in it, chucking on your pan. Have like a basically a quesadilla done in 5 minutes. You don't even need to leave your house as long as you've got it in. It's really simple. You don't need to make your food like gourmet style. It really is just a case of simple stuff. Um, and even when it comes to desserts, like puddings, like you were saying, if it's going to be something that's going to help you with your sweet tooth and still get you to your goal in terms of like hitting your protein targets or even um, just getting to your calories, it could be simple stuff at home. Greek yogurt with frozen berries, Greek yogurt with chocolate, whatever it might be. It's very easy and very simple to just quickly grab those. The only thing I
Can
would
you?
say is just be careful of things that are labelled as high
Oh,
protein.
what Aldi have got them high protein pizzas.
Oh,
Oh my God. Like, just put high protein on it because they've got a higher percentage of protein in them than the wood fired ones when you like have a day
it
off.
literally comes down to the type of flour they have used in the
That,
in the dough. That's what makes it higher protein. They normally use like a pea protein inside,
uh,
and it's like, oh my
that
god.
one thing people do need to be careful of is like that just because it says high protein, like just check it out.
Have you seen the baby bells? The
Ah,
protein
yeah,
baby bells.
the, the Baby Bell Light, less calories and more protein.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense, does it?
No, absolutely blows my mind.
It's like when you think
Right,
of like
so I
high
would.
protein breads and shit like that. There's so
That's
much.
one thing I'd definitely say. Like, just be careful and just always compare.
Just quickly check the
Then
numbers. Just it's
just
not difficult to just go right. Which one's got more calories and which one's got like higher protein? But then compare the protein to the calories because I can guarantee there's only I think Weetabix was one I did this when I worked at Asda many years ago when they brought out fucking protein Weetabix. I think it worked out as like two protein Weetabix was something like an extra 2.1 grams of protein in comparison
mm,
to a standard Weetabix, and it was like, come on now, the calories extra that you're gonna have there for that 2.1 grams.
I tell you what, Weetabix have brought out. I don't know if you've seen them. They're like Weetabix chocolate tubes, high protein.
I've not seen them.
They are actually high protein for
Oh,
the
are they
same
really?
calories as high. Yeah, that
Wait,
absolutely,
we got to win.
they're absolutely class as well. Hi. Do you know, just going back to them yogurts, can you, I don't know if you remember, I mean, you might get them for your kids. Small pots, Rolo yogurt and Milky Way.
Yeah, they look like
Not Milky Way, Milky Bar.
yes. I can't. I've not seen them for a while though. Now I
No,
know you can get them, but I've not seen
have
them
you
in
seen the
like.
white chocolate Aldi protein puddings?
Yes, I've got some myself.
They are those yogurts. They're absolutely insane.
I actually need to post this as well. I've done another protein ice cream using those,
Ah, yes.
and it's absolutely incredible. I need to actually post it, edit it, and whatnot. But yeah, it's incredible. I was stood there after I've made it, like, oh my god, I better stop eating this. It came out to something like 400 and I think it was like 450 calories for like a pint of like ice cream. With I think it was something like, and I'd have to go through all my fitness pal when I did the calculation, but I think it was something like 62 grams of protein per pot, and it was like majority of it was literally protein. It tastes incredible. I'll have to get the video up.
One of my mates, he's asked his missus for one of them ninja ice cream machines.
Oh, they're incredible. It's a game changer.
Might have to look into it.
I mean, I got mine from Costco. I think it was like 140 or something like that. But it's
Aye.
absolute game changer.
Well, Amazon has got the
It's Prime
deal.
Day, innit?
Ah, yeah, so I might even have a look at that.
Have a little gander.
But yeah,
Is there any other points you'd like mainly cover in terms of might be your clients and stuff? I know with a lot of mine, they end up thinking that like they've had a bad week if they've ended up having a treat.
oh, like, yeah, I mean, I've said it on here before, I think, on a couple of episodes. Like, one bad meal doesn't make it a
Yeah,
bad day, and one bad day doesn't make it a bad week. Like, Christ, what? I mean, if they've been to the gym, I mean, they need to get in the head that we've set them in a calorie deficit. The chances are, what they think's having a bad day is maybe maintenance. It might even still be under.
that's what I
Because,
was getting at with this because I had a client last week in check-in. I posted her wins today on my story, and all of her check-in last week, it was I've done shit, I've done awful, I've had too many treats, I've done this, I've done that, and I just kind of, when I was reading through it, and obviously I do video responses through Loom, and as I was going through, I was just like, Christine, the fuck are you doing? You're going through a reverse diet phase right now. Like the plan is to maintain. You've maintained. None of your measurements have gone anywhere. You literally you've had 2 bad days in the entire 7 days where you've gone 200 calories over. I literally did the calculations on the screen for her, and it was something like she was still like in a deficit. Um, I'd literally just, I think I spent about 20 minutes on this video, just basically just grilling her for, um, grilling her for grilling herself and putting herself down. Because it's those moments where clients kind of like get into a rut in themselves.
To be honest with you, I think that's why they do need people like ourselves because I mean I'm experienced, my missus is experienced. Like I've seen my missus be on plat, absolutely nail it, and she'll go on the scales when she's 2 pound heavier, and I'm like, we both know it's not body fat, but she
Mm-hmm.
can't help but going in a little strop.
Yep.
Like, I mean, to be honest with you, I've done it before.
I've done it myself. I think we all have at some point.
Yeah, but you can see why, like your clients get torn up about it, or they get inside their own head because they don't have that knowledge, or they don't have someone while they're stepping on the scale saying, you know, you've been on plan, so the only thing it can be is water. Like literally, like you might be due on, or if it's
Could be anything.
obviously a lady, but yeah, people obviously don't have the best of knowledge because of the shit that's out there.
Yeah.
And that's
It,
where we come into it. But for me, the key takeaway for anyone is hit your numbers on the plan that the coach sets you. Like,
or even
don't
just
try
what you
and
set
cheat it.
yourself. Like even if you've gone onto like a calculator online, like TDEcalculator.net and whatnot, just stick to those calories that are on there. As long as
Aye,
you're above your BMR, don't go below your BMR, guys. I've seen too many horror stories from that shit. Um, as long as you stick above your BMR and within like 50 to 100 calories, I can guarantee you'll be fine.
yeah.
And
But
yeah, just hit your numbers
yeah.
is the main
And
thing from
then,
this.
yeah, definitely if you're into your food, don't sign up to a coach that'll just give you one meal each meal for 7 days. I have literally been with a coach before that has expected me to eat the same 21 meals a week for 12
God,
weeks. And you're
no.
like, nah. And their response was, well, do you want to lose weight? I'm like, Jesus Christ.
It's the fucking no, no, no! Don't do that. I, and if we aren't the coaches for you, we know
Ah,
plenty of other coaches.
ah.
That's what it comes down to too.
I, obviously, the whole point of this episode was just to a little bit of a insight on how we work, and there's flexibility out there. Don't just think you need to make gourmet meals. You've literally got Aldi ready meals. You've got Gym Kitchen, Tesco, Asda. All the supermarkets do these high protein ready meals
Iceland,
now.
Iceland, my protein ones are fucking. Mm.
If you need something quick and easy, there's protein yogurts, there's protein shakes, and they'll be within your plan. We're not saying have 10 a day, literally, if you're on the go. If I'm out and about on the road, there's a chance I'll grab a protein yogurt and then maybe a shake later on.
Yeah, I normally grab like a shake and like whether it be like a little bit of chicken, like fridge raiders and stuff like that, just to get in that extra protein.
I think the lower your calories are, the harder it is to
Oh
manipulate
God,
and
yeah,
cook stuff in. But these ready meals for teas, if you're on low calories, they are perfect.
yeah.
Because the chances are you're not going to need 50 grams of protein a meal or 40 grams.
I think
These
at
will
the
be
moment,
perfect
even
for you.
my client that's on the lowest at the moment, she's on 1350 calories.
Yeah,
Like she's really small at the minute, and I think I have her at 105 grams of protein. And I'm sorry if you can't hit that within 5 meals,
nah, yeah,
you're definitely not doing it right because 30 grams per meal, you've smashed it though. Your main three
definitely.
meals, you've got 30 grams in each. You've got 90 calories before you 90 grams before you even think about it.
Yeah,
And it's what one chicken breast is 30 grams roughly, give or take a couple, and the rest of it's just little bits of snacks here and there, and you're smashing it.
exactly. To be honest with you, post workout and evening meal, you're probably three-quarters of the way there, anyways, especially on those numbers. Aye, but last thing from me is just high protein pizzas or high protein crumpets, etc. Things like that, just double check. I mean, Aldi have got high protein flatbreads in. They're about 50 calories more than the normal flatbreads, and there's about 2 grams more protein. Just things like that isn't worth it.
Yeah, I fully agree. It then comes down to obviously calories on that as well. I think I've had the high protein flatbreads.
They are nice, but
I think.
they literally
I think
for
I
the
have.
extra calories, they're not worth the two
Yeah, no.
grams
It
of protein.
also comes down to cost as well. The
Ah,
cost inflation of things having high protein, definitely be wary of, because they are just making it in part of marketing that they can charge more because it says high protein. So yeah, definitely be aware of that stuff.
yeah,
Just save yourself a fortune too. And then
there's
you
a
can
lot of
afford a coach.
definitely a lot of people in the industry that try and con you, and supermarkets have definitely bought into it as well.
Oh,
So just be careful
100%.
on that.
Yeah. But that is it from us for today on this episode.
Yeah,
So
thanks very
let us
much,
know
guys.
as well what kind of things you're struggling with. Like, you can
Yeah,
drop us a message, drop us a comment on the on Spotify, YouTube, wherever you see it. Let us know something that you're struggling with. We can chat about it.
if you're struggling to get your calories in, struggling to hit protein, just drop either one of us a message and we'll come back to you.
Yeah, 100%. See you on the next
All
one.
right. Thanks.